Gustave. We start with the man leading the charge. If you're playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33, this is the face you're going to be looking at for the first major chunk of the game. Gustave is an engineer by trade, but don't let the tech guy label fool you. He's built like a tank and hits like a truck. He's dedicated his life to maintaining Lumiere's defense and agricultural systems, essentially keeping the city alive while the Paintress slowly erases everyone. He joins the 33rd expedition not for glory, but for those who come after. He's reached the age of 33, meaning the next time the Paintress wakes up, he's dead anyway. He's fighting for the next generation, specifically for his foster sister/daughter, Maelle. In combat, Gustave is your bruiser and burst damage dealer for the first act of the game. He fights using a sword in one hand and a pistol in the other, but his real gimmick is his mechanical arm. This isn't just for show. It powers his core mechanic called Overcharge. Every time Gustave lands a hit, parries, or dodges, he builds up electrical charges. Once he stacks enough, he can unleash devastating abilities that nuke enemies with lightning damage. He's straightforward, reliable, and aggressive, perfect for players who want to stand in the front line and break enemy defenses through sheer force of will. He's voiced by Charlie Cox, giving him that gritty, determined daredevil energy that fits a man marching toward his own death.
Before we move on, could you please like this video and subscribe? I am trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. I know it's kind of impossible, but I know I can count on you all.
Maelle. The youngest member of the team at only 16 years old. She's an orphan who was taken in by Gustave and his sister Emma, but unlike him, she doesn't feel a patriotic duty to Lumiere. She feels suffocated by it. She joins the expedition not to save the city, but to escape it. She wants to see the world before she dies, making her motivation tragically selfish, yet completely understandable for a teenager living in an apocalypse. But here's the lore twist. Maelle is arguably the most important character in the meta-narrative.
She is the canvas reincarnation of Alicia Descend,
a connection that becomes vital as you unravel the mystery of the Paintress and the nature of their reality. Gameplay-wise, Maelle is a duelist or fencer. She wields a rapier and relies on a stance-switching mechanic. She flows between three forms: offensive, where she deals massive damage but takes more in return; defensive, where she becomes a parry god;
and virtuose, which basically doubles her attack power at no cost.
If you master her stance-switching mechanics and pair them with corresponding weapons, she can technically output the highest single target damage in the game.
Lune, the brains of the operation. Lune is the daughter of famous researchers who died trying to solve the mystery of the Paintress. Lune is obsessed with finishing their work. She is the pathfinder of the group, the one who actually knows where they are going. She is driven, intellectual, and arguably the most stressed out member of the party because she understands the stakes better than anyone. While Gustave is fighting for people, Lune is fighting for truth. In battle, Lune is your quintessential battle mage. She specializes in elemental magic, but the game adds a twist with her stain system. Instead of just spending mana, Lune generates stains, markers of fire, ice, lightning, or earth. She then uses opposing elements to consume these stains for massive bonus effects. For example, you might hit an enemy with fire to prime them, then hit them with ice to trigger a thermal shock. It makes her gameplay a puzzle. You always have to be thinking one turn ahead to set up her combos. She excels at exploiting elemental weaknesses, making her mandatory for certain boss fights.
Sciel. Moving on to the warrior with the dark past, Sciel at first glance seems like the most cheerful member of the group. She's a former farmer turned teacher who is warm, outgoing, and constantly smiling. But this is a mask. Sciel has accepted that she is going to die. She views death as a friend who will welcome her home, which gives her a terrifying lack of fear in battle. She wields a massive scythe, which is visually awesome, and acts as a hybrid warrior mage. Her mechanic is very unique, foretell. Sciel uses a deck of magical cards representing the sun and moon. Depending on which skill she uses, she shifts the battlefield into different phases. She can stack foretell counters on enemies, which act like a ticking bomb. When she consumes them, the enemy takes multiplied damage based on how many stacks they had. She also enters a twilight state where she gains the benefits of both sun and moon, turning her into a whirlwind of destruction. She's complex, but once you understand her rhythm, she's a monster. Esquie.
Now let's talk about everyone's favorite character, Esquie. Is he a human? No. Is he a pet? Sort of. Esquie is a magical, rotund creature that looks like a cross between a Totoro and a surrealist painting. In the lore, he is a mythical being, rumored to be one of the most powerful entities in existence, born at the dawn of time. But in practice, he's the team's mascot and emotional support animal. He has a childlike, innocent personality that contrasts sharply with the grim tone of the game. While Esquie isn't a playable combatant in the traditional sense like Gustave or Maelle, he is a crucial party member because he serves as your mount and transport. As you bond with him, he unlocks abilities that allow the team to fly, swim, and dive underwater, opening up the map. The game also uses him for emotional devastation. Because he doesn't fully understand the concept of the Gommage, the erasure of people, his confusion about why his friends are sad hits harder than any tragic monologue.
Verso, the edgelord of the group. You encounter Verso later in the game and he changes everything. Verso is a mysterious outsider who has been tracking Expedition 33. Later on, he's revealed to be the son of Renoir and a member of the original expedition, Expedition 0. He's tired, cynical, and essentially immortal within the context of the canvas world. Verso is designed for skill expression. His mechanic is called perfection. He doesn't just want to hit you, he wants to style on you. As Verso lands hits without taking damage, his rank increases from D to S. The higher his rank, the more damage he does. This mechanic is somewhat similar to Gustave's Overcharge, but still different enough. However, if he gets hit once, his rank drops. This makes him the ultimate high-skill character. If you are good at dodging and parrying, Verso is basically a god who can solo bosses. But if you are bad at defense, well, he's somewhat useless. Sorry, Verso.
Monoco. The wildest addition to the roster, Monoco is a gestrel, a race of creatures that are usually goofy and somewhat harmless. However, Monoco is unique. He's scholarly, speaks English, and wears a monocle, hence the name. He treats combat as a form of meditation and joins the party after some convincing because he wants to help his old friend Verso. But the heartbreaking lore reveal. In the real world, outside the canvas, Monoco is based on Verso's family dog, No-Go. His loyalty and protective nature are a manifestation of a dog's love for his boy. In combat, he's your blue mage. He uses a mechanic called the Bestial Wheel. He doesn't have a traditional skill tree. Instead, he learns abilities by, believe it or not, collecting enemy feet. He can transform into monsters you fought using their own cheap tactics against them. This gives him the widest and weirdest toolbox in the game. He adds a layer of chaos and fun to the endgame, ensuring no two battles feel exactly the same. If he stayed until the end, please leave a like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what do you want me to explain next? And if you don't want to,